What is up, party people, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with another video. This one is entitled Kevin Samuels Response C. These are from content creators called The Thing Is. I haven't seen any of their content before. I believe it's 3 women, but let's dive into it and see what's going on.
Kevin Samuels took it upon himself because I'm obviously, I don't know whether or not somebody sent him the clip of us discussing. He had a segment on his Instagram talking about defining what a high value man is and the fact that high value men don't cheat. And it was something that our guest last week and Mandy and myself all collectively thought was a crock of shit. So we decided last week to comment on it. And then I think somebody sent it to.
So I'm going to go here with it. I don't buy into a lot of the high value man type stuff, and part of the reason for me is that I don't believe that the whole cheating thing. So I'm not good with that. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys have an agreement that you guys are gonna have what they call an open relationship, I'm good with that. That's cool. But other than that, like if it's not agreed upon, then I'm not good with it. Not at all.
Him or he listened to that small, really minuscule segment on our episode and chose to respond in the YouTube comments.
Y'all, he chose to respond on the YouTube comments.
Which, I mean, great, no problem. The internet that is exactly what the internet is for.
Internet go internet.
It is but it's an open forum. Every single medium allows people to speak freely and speak their minds and say what they need to say,
right. Which
is great.
Right.
But then proceeded to, in one of his segments on his YouTube channel, to mention us and mention the podcast.
Girl, read the comments so we can get this off, because we about to get it off on this.
So
Hi, Kevin.
And he decided he wanted to read his comment that he left on our YouTube page.
On his show.
Okay, sounds like they about to go in on Kevin right now. I mean, I guess he gave him more hype, more publicity. You know, if he's in their comment sections, typing stuff away, and if he's on his channel plugging in, I mean, he's just giving them more ammo, more firepower to come back at him, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Oh, so
go ahead and read it, because I can't think this fast for a song.
You want me to read his comment or you want me to read mine?
Please read yours. Read his first, and then I got a song.
Can you click the read more, Scream Man? There we go. So this was Kevin Samuels. What happened? There we go. This was Kevin Samuels' comment about us.
Okay.
The modern danger zone woman of full display in all its glory. Not one of these women actually listened to my content or spoke to the actual points. Instead, they went straight to typical responses. Disingenuous and misleading at best, but to do the opposite would require real discourse. Anytime any of you want to actually debate the topic instead of using predictable sign language, ad hominem attacks, and juvenile slicknesses, let me know.
So sign language, meaning shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right, is it's an acronym. So that's what that sign language means.
Facts, data, and statistics, because anecdotal experience won't work, and neither will this level of disingenuous bad faith energy masked as a legitimate conversation. Again, you can't make this stuff up.
Y'all, he really left 2 paragraphs in a sentence, like a closer.
Also,
like y'all know if y'all.
There must have been a.
Oh, it's fantastic.
He edited it.
It says he edited it.
It says edited.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wait, 2 days ago. Oh, so he had more to say.
Oh yeah. Well, I
hold on.
Or maybe he had less to say.
I'm not trying to.
So I decided today to listen. I wanted to listen to the full clip because the one thing that I love just as much as men, and hopefully this will be something that men can appreciate as well, that women love more than you, is receipts.
Let's go.
So I'm going to go ahead and read my response.
Let's go.
You can lower this though.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I commented and I said, well, isn't this interesting? I appreciate the mention of my podcast, however pretentious. I am a bit disappointed in your generalization of myself and my co-host, though, considering your remarkable protection of men from the same treatment. Given the reaction to our opinions of one of your segments, it's clear you haven't listened to any of our weekly content at all. Beyond.
So, yes, he's going to protect the men because men have been attacked for decades now. Decades. And it's just ironic that the one time one man fires back, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but the fact that he fires back, they're ready to go full force at him.
mention of your name. Typical indeed.
Typical.
Had you done adequate
Typical.
research on our points of view, you might be surprised to find we usually advocate for black men with the same ferocity as is used to uplift and or challenge black women. We chose to dissect the one piece of recent content we all openly objected to. I'd also like to remind you that disagreeing with you is not a form of disrespect, nor does it warrant the gaslighting you so eloquently display here between the 27 and 33 minute marks.
Between what minute mark?
The 27 and 33 minute marks.
They
We
fired a whole lot of
invited you to
shots.
our couch in a prior episode to talk with
I actually kind of like that graphic, that graphic, but sound effect, shots fired.
us
did.
women about your ideology, not to attempt to degrade or delegitimize as you so proudly and embarrassingly accused,
Embarrassingly.
but to understand and engage in informative dialogue or debate about topics that we actually agree do plague our culture and relationships. With that being said, Mr. Samuels, I'd again like to formally invite you to the danger zone, as you call it, where we stand firm in our beliefs but aren't so arrogant that we can't be enlightened or proven wrong. So whenever you, sir, are ready to hop down off your high-value horse and have a meaningful, hopefully entertaining, and potentially
Come on, high value horse, bitch.
potentially enriching conversation.
So it definitely won't be an enriching conversation. Look at her co-host is just adamant to get at him. This is not going to be a healthy conversation. Let's just put it that way. It won't be a healthy conversation because these women are ready to go at him. They're ready to go at him.
We would still love to have you. Respectfully, BK of See the Thing Is.
Yeah, double homicide.
Damn, you killed that nigga. You double homicide, bitch.
I got it. That's a great
Oh,
response.
y'all know that she is a wordsmith, baby. And you know what? I'll be honest to say,
I love to converse. I am a conversationalist, as is he, for a living.
and if
As
he
am I,
comes-
for a living.
if
So
he
please
comes
join the
here-
conversation.
See, it's kind of hard to. I mean, it seems entertaining, but they keep talking over one another. One at a time. Can we do one at a time, please?
I will say if Kevin, you choose to come to the couch that is actually ours that you've already been on, but the See the Thing Is couch, I will say this isn't a conversation that I even want to have as far as a battle of the sexes or a gender wars. I think that both Bridget and I can eloquently express our thoughts and views and the spaces in which we do disagree with you. I think that it's okay to disagree, and I think that we are valid and have enough education to also come with our stats and not just our experiences when we speak. So I mean, I'm looking forward to
would be
hopefully you
interesting.
joining us because I would like to have that conversation. Go ahead.
I think
See, it would be interesting to hear what stats they might have. So I haven't watched any of their content. Actually, this is the first that I'm seeing of it. So I'm actually going to go check out some more of their content because if they got some stats, I would like to hear it. I'd like to know what they have to say.
the thing that is most disheartening, because we didn't play what he said, right? What was the word, the verbiage that he kept using?
Out of order.
Out of order, right? Out of order women.
Out of order.
A couple things with that.
Which actually did come from Ayanla, so we can't put that completely on him.
I
That
would
was
never.
something that
I would
she
never.
said.
All of this is learned behavior, right? All of this.
Yes.
So that's number one.
Yep.
The patriarchy is very real, and that comes.
See, there we go again. I mean, most men would argue that women have way more rights these days than men do. So I don't know about that.
We can go back to BC on it. Like, we go back to the Bible on that. Like, where I came from your rib. Actually, you came from my womb, but cool.
Say that shit.
So
'Cause the rib.
Whoa, whoa! Is she misquoting the Bible? Did she just misquote the Bible? Wait a minute! Just because Eve came from Adam's rib, now she wants to trumpet from everybody else coming from a woman's womb? That was God's doing, and that was a punishment to women. She got to get a boo on that one. That was God's doing. And the fact that you guys have to bear children in the manner that you do was a punishment. It wasn't meant to be glorified. And for women to glorify it is not the way it was intended from God.
holding no baby.
I don't understand.
I don't really know science like that, but I know that that's not how it works.
I don't understand it, but cool. I think what disheartens me is that we have gotten to a place where we are so interested in the clap back and his clap back and then this clap back. And I know that you're trying to have a real conversation. And my hope is that we will have a real conversation because this is important.
Yes,
the conversation is incredibly important. The dynamic between men and women, especially black men and black women, has become this sort of like entertainment. It's like a boxing ring, and it's not funny. It's like our family dynamics are suffering as a result of us not being solution oriented, not hearing each other and trying to be right.
Agree.
It's okay if Kevin wants a certain kind of woman, then say that, but I don't have to be that woman.
See, that's a good point. She makes an excellent point there. I'm going to give her another correct on that because Kevin does want a certain kind of woman, and she's right. She doesn't have to be that kind of woman, but what Kevin is advocating that most men would like a certain type of woman. Most men would. So the problem is that most of these women don't believe that that's true, which it is. Majority of men don't want a woman who's obese. It's just the way it is. Most women, younger women primarily, wouldn't want a man who's obese. So it's not like Kevin's wrong.
But it also doesn't stop qualifying women based on your own personal opinion.
Well, that's the thing. He can do that for himself,
Right.
for
He
his
can.
woman.
He can.
Right. But to qualify women as a whole and why
Right.
women are delusional and play the blame game.
And I would say,
Right.
black women. He specifically talks to black women,
Agreed.
which
and
is
some of it is constructive
does.
criticism.
Sure.
Yes.
Not all of it is meant to
No.
to dismantle a woman's confidence, but at the same time,
I have to pause it right there. I got to say that they're wrong in the sense that I've had arguments with women about what it is that I believe that men want. Just from my conversations with men in my life, brothers, uncles, friends, everyone, we pretty much all say the same thing. This is the type of men we want. And when I go to war and have that conversation with women, they always go, you want this. You want that. That's what you believe. Even my wife has said the same thing. That's what you want. That's what you believe. Until she's heard mediocre tutorials and reviews, Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, Aubrey and Preach. I mean, just the list goes on. Jason Black. There are plenty of men out there, black men, that have said, no, this is what the majority of us want. And so when she heard that, she kind of backed away a little bit and was like, whoa, maybe it isn't just one man. So, yeah, they're just going to say, hey, it's just Kevin, which is where they are, in effect, wrong.
the how still matters. The how is still
Absolutely.
just as weighty as the what.
Absolutely.
We have to stop pretending that the way a message is delivered does not affect how the message lands.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And
It does. If you call women an explicit, let's say the B word, and then deliver a message, she's probably not going to want to hear the message. So, yeah, I agree with that.
this is just like, it's so layered with people. I'm not even gonna say men, people, men, women who are like this, who have these platforms of like, this is how you're a good man and this is how you're a good woman. Like, instead of that conversation, I would love to hear, this is what I need. This is what I hear other people need. This
Yeah.
is where this is what we're lacking from you.
I like what she's saying. I like her because if we talk more so about what it is that I prefer, what it is that I need, and when we say I, we mean like men in general, as opposed to you need to be like this and you need to be like this as women, we're just pointing fingers back and forth. It gets us nowhere.
That sounds a lot different. Like, how can I show up for you better?
Well, I
how
guess-
can you be heard
I
better?
guess that's my problem with him. and if he sits on this couch, I would love to even discuss it. He brings the stats, sir. I can't just do I know if those stats are right?
What's
I
that?
don't know.
Like, yeah, I listened to them
and that's
stats
the
on that
thing.
fucking podcast, and I'm sorry.
Sounds good, but that's another
how
thing
do you
too.
how do you rate women's happiness? Like,
He's-
what are you talking
he-
about?
he
How are you
speaks-
doing that?
He speaks as though his words are fact, as if they are Bible, as if this is the way to go. And
So I think that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people speak as if their words are truth. Not all their words are truth. Not all these women's words are truth. Probably not all my words are truth. But I can say that we all have a desire and a need to want certain things. And the thing about it is, most of us share a lot of the same wants and desires as it pertains to the opposite sex. Majority of women want a protector and a provider. Most women want the two in one. Some women that may have their own money may not really want so much the protector, the provider, but more the protector. And there's some women that just want the other one, but most women want both. And so we're just talking about in general, women in general. Now, these three women specifically may not need any of it, but most women do want those things. And most men do want a woman who looks a certain way. That's just all there is to it. None of these women in the face are unattractive, but, and I'm not trying to put them down, but the one on the left and the one on the right, they seem a little heavy. And for most guys, I don't know.
I said it on my other pod. To me, yes, he's been doing this since 1989. Apparently, he's been giving this advice. But to me, it's no different, and it's just as detrimental as what Steve Harvey did to
Absolutely.
our dynamics of how we view ourselves. What's a wife? The 90-day rule that Steve Harvey put into the atmosphere on how we should value ourselves. And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that these men are constantly placing the value on us, that's why we are in a space where we have the sexually liberated woman.
So I'm going to pause it there. She's got to get a boo. The reason why she gets a boo is because women are constantly and consistently placing the value on men. It's been done since the beginning of time. This is why these platforms exist. It's because women place this unreal expectation on a lot of men. I want a man who's 6 feet tall, who has a six-pack and makes six figures. It's unreal expectations that women put on men. So when men are finally voicing their opinions about what it is that they want and desire, we're wrong. We're wrong. But you guys shot first. But I agree with the woman in the black. Let's just stop shooting altogether. And let's all sit down and say, hey, look, in general, this is just what men want. This is just what men need. And then the women say the same thing. And stop telling the other person what it is that we gotta do. Right? So
The independent woman. We have these things because we're finding value in ourselves. Happiness comes from us. It doesn't come from whether we're chosen or wifed up or birthing a child for a man.
But for some women it is.
Right.
And that's
that's the thing. For some women, it is. Most women want to be married and have children. Most women want that. And a lot of women aren't getting it. The fact that women vastly outnumber men makes it even harder. The fact that most men, when they reach their 30s, want a woman who's significantly younger. That's just the way it is. And the fact that a lot of these women are telling the younger women, older women are telling younger women, you don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. But then they're competing for the same guys. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and we'll keep you updated on all of our upcoming videos. Thanks for hanging out with us here at Time Out, and we'll see you in the next one. Deuces.